welcome back to part two of our Starbright Fantasy finale. You've waited a week. We didn't have to wait at all. Uh, anyways,
Just rub it in a little more.
I will. I will. Depending on when this comes out, I might have waited 2 weeks. Um, but anyways, yes, quick little recap. The Keiko and her crew and these intertwined fates arrived to the destination where the Wish Star will indeed pass by. The Companion Navy has arrived to cause some issue upon splitting off with the vessel proper and taking the small scouting skiffs and a little bit of mishaps. Uh, the group has been separated and has found themselves up against various adversaries. With all of that out of the way, let me set the scene for each group here. In terms of Ishtar and Nameless, your scene that you see here is at the kind of focal point and the base of this sort of ziggurat structure. Behind you, to your left and right, are two, and you presume on the other side it is true as well, kind of almost tower-like structures that are like large telescope type rooms. But otherwise, the area is for the most part fairly open. Um, Intermittent barrages of space rock do collide and potentially could be a visual or environmental based hazard. For the other group, for Song, Elysande, and Liarel, you are in sort of a open area with divots of craters and such, um, along with sort of this flat structure. And where dust gets kicked up, it kind of just gets kicked up and stays there and moves very slowly because of the low gravity. Again, same thing. Intermittent rocks make this a potentially dangerous thing. You are up against. It's kind of a versus versus type of situation where you are not with Admiral Perrin. Admiral Perrin is not with you, and Captain Nocturne Turna is with no one in particular. It's kind of its own little battle royale situation here. But with that, as this begins, um, Nameless, you are actually first to act here, as this dragon is staring down at you. And this is not the first time you have gone against this dragon.
Nope. My beloved. Point of order, because we've been kind of doing this little fast and loose with
Location, spatial.
yeah, but could I retroactively add something on with one of my features to everybody? Because I would consider it like a daily thing that he does.
Okay.
I have, as my final feat that I was able to take, I took what I have renamed to Pack Leader, which is Inspiring Leader. I would like to give everybody 13 temporary hit points.
13 temp hit points. Okay, mark that down. I will say, looking at all the stuff here, that 13 will probably come up.
Yeah.
Okay, but
And then,
Very nice.
roughly how far away am I from this dragon?
it's kind of like, by perspective wise, it's kind of in your face, so it's only about like 35 feet away. It's slightly raised, so
Okay.
I would say, like, if we're doing, the whole geometry thing, it's probably more like 45, but we're not gonna do geometry for everything. That's
Totally fine
too
and
much.
fair. I would like to cast. Hang on, I'm just that action. Why can't I look for stuff that's bonus actions? Okay, well, for an action, I would like to cast Sun Sphere, which is Flaming Sphere,
Okay.
on this guy. I only need 60 feet. Um, do I need to roll for this? Sorry.
I know it. Believe it has to, because it's a reflavored flaming sphere. So I do believe it has to roll a
Yeah.
dex save, right?
Sorry, I'm like reading it. There's a lot of text. Occupied within range. Must make a dex save.
Okay, it rolled a 14.
Magic. No.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna take the full amount of damage then.
Dope. Okay, that's so sorry.
You're right.
That one and that one. I rolled like ass. I literally only got a 4. But does that include spell attack?
No, it's simply that.
Okay, just a 4.
Alright. You kind of wind up and take that sort of sphere, and it kind of tossing that out. It's almost like
It's fire damage, if that helps.
yes, I am aware. I don't believe. Yeah, it doesn't have any like resistances to that or anything. It. I mean, dragons are somewhat intelligent creatures, so it kind of squints down at you almost like, oh, that was cute. What else you got? Um, and do you have anything else there?
Uh, Looking, I know I had something that was a bonus action. I think I. Not for now, I guess. I'm sorry, I don't want to take anyone else's time.
It's all good. Okay. With that then, that is going to make it Song's turn actually.
All right. He is gonna run up and stab the admiral.
Okay.
Um,
I'm really glad I swallowed my Coca-Cola right there.
That's a miss. That's a 4. We can do my second attack. That's a 3. That's a miss.
Rachel, you need to have a talk with your
Oof.
dice.
I'm using my That's Right dice because it's stupidly themed, but no. And then I'm gonna.
What a betrayal.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna spend a key point. I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do an unarmed strike.
Okay.
That misses. That's my turn.
Woo!
I rolled under a 10 for each one. Grabbing a different dice.
Okay. I know that like none of us are like a huge believer in that, but maybe you need to like soak your dice in some holy water or something.
I know. Oh, okay. I know my skull dice rolled badly too.
All right. All right. Then we will shift back over as this song you kind of charge forward and engage with the Admiral. However, she is a veteran to combat. She is not a slouch when it comes to it, so she is able to duck, bob, and weave out of almost all of your attacks.
Yeah.
Or rather, all of them.
Yep.
However, as she seems to like wind up to do a swing on her own, we would cut away here as a claw from the crystal dragon here is actually going to make an attack at Nameless, because Nameless is the one that kind of like leaping downwards and going for the claw.
Yeah.
That is going to be on the first one. That's gonna be a 12. Do not believe that hits Nameless.
No.
Okay. Going down for a bite here. That's a natural 1.
Awesome.
Nameless is ready for the rematch.
For just kind of, just because I like to think some dragons are like cats, I think it's just gonna go for Nameless again for its final multi-attack. Okay, that's gonna be a 19.
Oof.
19 to hit Nameless or no? Uh-oh.
Are you muted?
Silver?
Oh, sorry. God. I was going over. I have access to shield through a magic item, but I think that would only get me to a 19, so I'm not going to use it.
Yep, okay. You will, as that one slams into you, for this claw. It doesn't do a lot of damage, it only does 4 slashing.
Okay.
But that is that creature's turn. Which makes it Liarel's turn on the other battlefield as these attacks come slamming down, and as this creature kind of slams down, dust kicks up, and we cut over to the other group here. As Liarel, it is your turn.
She is gonna do something a little different. We're in a wide open space on a planet, and she's gonna call lightning
Okay. Yep, that'll do it.
at 5th level.
At 5th,
Hell yeah.
there are two applicable targets, and it depends on who you want to target, the Admiral or Captain Nocturna, because they're not close enough to be hit both, so it's going to be one or the other.
They're not within 60 feet of each other?
Well, Call Lightning only has a 10-foot radius, if I recall correctly. Let me know.
It is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius.
Let me double check here. Just seeing.
Well, there's gate strings it down if that's what you're mistaking it for.
I might be.
That happened to me with Warcaster the other night.
Why is there? There it is. Okay.
Go over here.
Alrighty.
So you still do have to choose a point though, or like which creature within that point. So an Admiral Perrin and Captain Nocturne are not quite close enough to be within 5 feet all around, so you'll have to make the choice between the Captain or the Admiral.
Okay. She's going to target the Captain Nocturna.
Okay. I believe she has to make a dex save.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's okay at that. She's not okay at that.
It's contagious.
Oh my god, it's like a digital worm. No one's safe! At 5th level, that's an absurd amount of damage. That's like
5d10.
yeah, 5d10. Okay. You know how much damage getting slapped with?
28.
28.
Nice.
Okay. So understandably, Captain Nocturna was not expecting to get slapped with lightning out of fucking nowhere. As it calls down and hits her, and you can see kind of the very comical kind of, you can see the bone structure for a brief flash before that ends. Okay, anything else?
She's gonna pivot real quick and throw a firebolt at the Admiral.
No. Sorry.
Let me double check here. Firebolt's an action, so I do not believe you can do that unless it's a bonus action.
Okay. No, it doesn't quite count as a bonus.
Alright. If you have a bonus action, you're more than welcome to use it, but I do not know what else you have because truly, I stopped looking at all of your character sheets in detail because it hurt my brain.
Fair.
She does have some bonus actions, but nothing that would help in this situation unless she moves closer, and she's not willing to do that.
Alright.
So she's just gonna be satisfied with making bones appear for a brief moment.
In every universe, it's Halloween somewhere.
Yes.
Alright, it is the Admiral's turn, actually, and she is going to make 2 attacks at Song, since Song seems to be the one the most determined to punch her in the face.
It's been a long time.
So that is going to be a 17 to hit on the first attack.
Yep.
Okay. And then the other one is going to be a... Okay, well, it is truly contagious. That is going to be a 6 on the other one. Alright, so for this sort of double, like, bladed scimitar situation, you are hit once, and the other one you're able to kind of pivot and use almost momentum and just kind of push it off to the side. However, you are going to take 5 slashing and 10 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then, let's see here.
After those 10 hits.
And then I need Elysande to make a Constitution save.
Okay. Oh, no, it's contagious. I rolled a 2. It's a 7. That doesn't
Bring it
help.
all down with me.
Alright,
Oh,
as
fuck.
2, like, against Song, just the 1 slash, the 1 deflect, and she uses a free hand and kind of pivots and points towards you, Elysande, and a blast of kind of celestial radiance strikes you, and you take 20 points of radiant damage.
Whoa!
Wow.
It's okay. I'm fine.
Uh,
Okay.
Alright, I do believe that is going to make it, yes, as that kind of strikes you and we flash, it is now your turn, Ishtar, up against this dragon.
Alrighty. Okay, so for my turn here, there's going to be a few things going on here. As she readies herself, sword and shield in hand, and she will begin to cast Spirit Guardians at 4th level.
Okay.
Alright, so as you see her eyes alight, and then all the speckled stars on her body begin to alight as well, as just surrounding her are almost like shooting stars surrounding her. And as such, the let's see here. I think the dragon needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. It truly is contagious. 9.
Nope. Alright, so we'll immediately take 4d8 radiant damage.
Yeah, fuck 'em up.
So. Okay, 9. Ooh, okay. 19 points of radiant damage at the moment.
19 points of radiant damage. Okay, as you strike into this dragon with the spirit, as it starts slamming into it, it does affect it. However, it seems like for the most part, it doesn't affect it as much as you think it should.
Okay, good to know. At this point, while our eyes are still aglow, she will speak one word, and it will be Estelle, as her voice kind of echoes, something echoes behind her shield, and or rather glows behind her shield. As I'm going to activate my glyph warding and use Beacon of Hope.
Alright.
All right. And so I have that going on, and anyone within 30 feet of me will have advantage on wisdom saves and death saving throws, and will regain the maximum number of hit points possible from any kind of healing.
Okay. In this case, that's just gonna be Nameless.
At
Can
this
we
time.
put that in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Please and thank you.
Yep. I'm trying to remember. I know you said they were. You said the other group was about 30 feet away, or probably
No,
give
no,
or
no.
take.
Those groups, like that separate group, all the enemies were about, like, between those 3 parties, were 30 feet away from you. You're on the other side of the ziggurat structure. So
Okay.
that's about maybe 100 feet.
Probably 100 feet away.
Okay, that changes
That does change a
little
few
bit.
things then. If they're still further away from us. Let's see. Then I think I will just if we change I'll probably change that around instead of activating my glyph just yet. So I'll keep that until we're a bit closer.
Sounds good.
Right, but yeah, I'll put that into the thing for later anyway, just in case. So that's going to be a thing for later. Keep that in my pocket. I use my action for Spirit Guardians. Let's see here. Anything else I'm going to do? I think that should be. That's probably everything I can do at this moment. As that's my action. But I'll just kind of get ready for any sort of attacks going on.
Alright. It is, so we kind of just cut away and cut back. The vampire captain Nocturna is going to make an attack against Elysande because these two have history. And that is going to be a 17 to hit.
Yeah, but that's my AC.
Okay,
Yep.
beats it. You take 19 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. Yep, I'm killing her.
Alright, can she do anything else? She actually can't, so it is your turn, Elysande.
Okay. And she was hit with the lightning. How hurt does she look?
She doesn't look super hurt, but she doesn't look pleased by it.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just debating on what I'm trying to do here. Yeah, I have to. I'm going to cast Searing Smite on my weapon.
Okay.
Cast.
So that's your bonus action.
Sorry, there's a lot of new things and there's a lot of reading that has to happen.
That's fine.
Damage roll. Okay, this is the one you hit. Okay, I'm gonna attack her with my sword.
Sounds good. Make an attack roll.
Shit, where's the thing? Does a 17 hit?
A 17 will absolutely hit.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you right now, just so we can just avoid this in the future. Her AC is the exact same as yours.
That's 11 points of slashing.
Okay.
And I forgot to roll for. And then 2 fire damage for Searing Smite.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be. Gonna hit her again. That doesn't hit. That's a 10. I am action surging. We don't have
just for the fire damage. How much fire damage was it?
2.
2. Got it.
Yeah, I'm action surging. We don't have time to fight 2 enemies here. I'm going to.
Heck yeah.
I was gonna do that. Okay, that's a 23. That hits.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
I'm gonna use Distracting Strike. When I hit it with a weapon attack, I'd expect superiority die to add to the total damage roll in the next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you. An attacker other than you has advantage.
Okay.
So until my next turn.
Okay.
And I'm also pouring a Divine Smite in this too.
Just let me know what the total damage is.
Sorry, I'm sorry. There are a lot of things I can. I'm doing my best. This is my best. Oh, it's in spells. Yeah. Okay. So, like that. That's another 11 points of slashing damage. That's me throwing my d6 everywhere. And that's 1 point of fire damage. Got 6 more points of whatever superiority die damages.
Okay.
And Divine Smite. Wait, so how many damage dice do I roll for Divine Smite?
It'll be 2d8.
2d8. That's 2 sevens. That's 14 points of radiant damage. I told you I'm out for blood, Joe.
Yes, you are.
We don't have time.
How do you kill her? Because you do the exact amount of
okay.
damage to kill her.
So,
hell yeah!
So this is the person who took my child. I told you about the story last game. As I'm holding my sword, just slashing, just with rage, the sword lights up, and you can barely see where the sword is because it's swinging so fast and it's glowing, and you're like, it's just a lot of slash, and then turning a big swing over the head and just cutting her head clean off.
Okay. As you do that, you can kind of watch her turn to like this ashen form, and I need you to make me a Constitution save.
15.
15 is the exact amount you need, so you actually take no necrotic damage from the explosion that she deals when she blows up. And I will tell you, I rolled pretty high, so you're really lucky, because you would have taken 25 points of necrotic damage.
I still have one attack, so I'm gonna run over to where Song is fighting whatever her name is. I don't know what her name is. I'm going to bait and switch with Song. So wait. Oh no, I can only use one. Sorry, I can only use one die per turn, right? Is that it?
Let me check. I don't think.
For the most part, most of them tend to be one per turn. It depends.
Well,
on
I did
which
just
one.
use 2 and 1. Or no, I just used 1.
Let me look really quick, because I feel like actually you probably could use it, because it doesn't say it requires any action. So
yeah,
let me just
usually
double check here.
Usually it's like tied to either a bonus action or part of your attack kind of thing.
Okay.
So, which is why you normally can't do multiple.
Yeah, you can. Oh. No,
What's
you could
up?
do this, because the term here is let me double check and just see this really quick. Alright, no, you could do this, because it specifically says that you can only use one maneuver per attack.
Per attack. Okay.
This isn't an attack.
But it's not per turn.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. It's only per attack.
Let's see. Oh, fuck, I only rolled a 2. I'm so sorry. It's only a +2 bonus. Doing what we can. I haven't swing, and then I'm going to attack her.
Okay.
Ah! 14! That doesn't
like
hit.
14 total?
To hit, yep.
That does not hit, no.
Yeah, okay.
Alright. As you kind of do that absolute insanity, I truly thought that particular NPC was going to last longer. As you kind of finish that, and I think it's probably one of those things where Admiral Perrin is a little more calculated and versed, so she's able to just kind of parry a little easier, and is not as directly reckless as Captain Nocturna was. But as you finish your attempted strike, the battlefield almost seems to light up a little bit, as you can see this massive, like, orange-blue comet, this kind of peering through. And that is going to be the Wish Star has officially entered initiative. It is at initiative count 1, and what this means here is you will have to get in close proximity to it to kind of even affect it, which means you will have to be at the top of the ziggurat essentially. And what I'm saying here is, after 6 rounds, should this combat continue and last more than 6 rounds after the fact, the Wish Star will be in such a position to where no side is going to be able to get up there fast enough to make contact with it for the allotted time that you need.
What do we have to climb up?
Just the ziggurat structure that you're nearby. You'd have to climb up to get near it to be able to use it. And on the initiative round, essentially for you guys, initiative round 7, 1 round has gone through, so 6 rounds from now, and the Wish Star is initiative count 1. So after the 6th round here, it will be out of range to the point where even if you finish the combat, right just after that, it'll be too far out of the way to where you won't be able to run up and make contact with it and get that potential wish or boon out of the way. However, it is back to the top of the round again, which makes it Nameless's turn.
Bonus action. I'm gonna roll my Sun Sphere into this dragon.
Okay, I believe it has to make another dex save here. Or is
Yes.
it just a persistent effect?
Let's see. It's a bonus action. You can move the sphere up to 30 feet. No, it just says if you ram the sphere into a creature, the creature must. Saving. Just a saving throw. It doesn't say.
Okay.
Saving throw against the sphere's damage.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume that's just another save. It does not make it.
Okay.
That's a 14.
Okay. So 6. Ooh, hey. 8 total.
Okay.
And I am also going to cast Polybarf on it.
Okay.
If I can.
What save is polymorph?
A wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom. Okay, it's not terrible at that. What is your spell save DC?
16.
16. So it legitimately just has to roll an 11 or higher. Alright. You know, you should really thank Rachel that her bad rolls are contagious. That's a 2. That's a 2. I got super excited because I saw the 2 and I was like, oh, cool, it's a nat 20. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, nope, it is not.
It's close to a nat 20.
I'm gonna hold out my arms and catch it as it falls into his grasp, and it's just like this little tiny toothless little wolf pup.
Okay. Yeah,
Baby.
that happened.
Sure did.
Anything else you'd like to do, Nameless?
I'm gonna take my 30 feet of movement and start just walking calmly up the ziggurat.
Yeah, alright.
I will give him pets and scritches also.
It is not about that life. It is a dragon. It does not like this situation.
He angry.
Angry wolf baby.
How is it every group I run for manages to make the most terrifying portion of it just trivial?
It was either that or I was gonna cast a guiding bolt on it, so
I mean,
I had plans to upcast that, but I was like, I don't feel like killing it, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, you're heading up there, okay? Song? It's your turn?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in combat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's behind me. Or he's behind me. Bait and switch,
Well, yeah,
you're
but
behind me.
you're still in the... Yeah, you're still in the combat, though.
Well, I hate to say it, he's a melee fighter, so he's gonna run back up there.
Sounds good.
You could try and flank, maybe? To get advantage? You might need it.
Yeah. Hey.
Might?
Hey.
Sorry, boss, you might need it.
That's a good idea, though. I will absolutely do that.
Sounds good.
Gonna go into the short sword first, per usual. That's a nat 1.
Oh.
With you're flanking, so you
advantage. That's right.
I believe in you.
You can do it.
Do we want to take a guess if it's above or under 5?
Under
Is it a
4?
6?
Okay, that's my 2 attacks. I'm gonna split a key point.
Wait, that's only one attack.
Get it.
You rolled twice for one attack.
Wait. Oh, right, that's right. Advantage. Thank you. That's right. Okay. So I missed my first attack. I'm gonna switch to my third D20.
I believe in you.
Okay, that's much better. That's an 18
That
plus
will hit.
whatever. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Um. Okay. So that is then a d6 plus 3. So that is for a whole 5 damage.
Let's go.
Um.
Okay.
And so that was my second attack. Now I'm going to spend a key point to do an unarmed strike.
Okay.
Or. Yes, that's what Yep. Okay, unarmed strike. Oh, that's a 19.
Yep, that'll hit.
So then that is 6. 4 damage. And then I'm going to spend actually a second key point to do Hands of Harm when you hit a creature with an unarmed. Wait, don't I get 2 unarmed? Is
Yeah,
it
you get
Bop
2.
Bop?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I'll roll my second one for that then. That's another 19.
Will
I
hit.
like this
Hell
dice.
yeah.
You got all the bad ones out of the way.
I did. So that is another 5 damage.
Okay.
I'm still spending that key point, and I'm gonna do Hands of Harm. When you hit a creature with an unarmed strike, you can spend 1 key point to deal an extra necrotic damage to one of your rolls. So my marshals die plus my wisdom modifier. So I'm gonna add. My martial die is d6 right now. That's another 1. I'm retiring this d6. Okay. That's a 1, and then my wisdom modifier is 2, so it's an additional points. I did something. And that'll be my turn.
I mean, you did a fair amount of damage. It doesn't seem like it, but you did a fair amount of damage.
A bunch of little damage, yeah.
That's kind of just Monk's whole deal, right? Just death by 1,000 tiny cuts.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it, that's gonna make it the dragon's turn. It's just gonna try and leave, like, Nameless's, you know, beanie baby hold.
Angie
accurate.
baby trying to squirm away.
That's not gonna happen. Okay, I may be throwing this die
I
across
give
the
him
room.
a kiss on the head.
It is. If it had teeth, it would bite you, but it can't. All right, so that makes it Liarel's turn.
Taking a page out of Nameless's book, she is also going to cast Polymorph
Yes,
on
it's
Admiral
for the
Perrin.
hero!
Okay.
DM
Our
request.
DM's having a fun time.
God, let me think really quick. She's an intelligent enough creature. The drawer. That. She's gonna burn her one and only legendary resistance to not have that happen to her.
Oh.
That's understandable. Bitch.
Okay, anything else? Like, I think you still have bonus actions available to you if you want to do something there.
It's like, again, she is reluctant to get into close. But she's gonna do that. She's gonna run up and she's got Flame Blade. that she can activate.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, this is.
25
To hit?
to hit.
Yep, that'll for sure hit.
"13 fire damage."
13 fire damage. Okay. I do believe that. I mean, let me check really quick. Okay. 13 fire damage. That's a surprising amount of damage for her. Let's see. And now it is. It's the Admiral's turn. Oh, she's in such a shit position now. Oh my god, I didn't realize that until just now. All three of you are around her. Oh my god.
Yes.
Liarel, did you roll with advantage? Because you were both flanking her. Just to see if you could get a nat 20. That's my pure goal is to make Joe's life hard.
I did not roll with advantage.
I'll just roll to see if you do. Otherwise, you know.
You still hit her. This is just to see if you hit her harder.
The second die was a nat 20.
Oh no fucking shit!
That's insane.
Yo!
So we're gonna keep that 13 damage, and what is the max amount that green flame can do?
3d6, so 18.
So we're just gonna add an additional 18 damage, and that will be treated as the crit. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Hell, yes!
So this is
Amazing!
Let's see. How is she gonna deal with this? Because she needs to. Is she someone?
How far away is she from us on top of the ziggurat? Or approaching the ziggurat, rather?
You'll be getting closer, like, to be able to see, but you'll still be, like, 50, 60 feet away.
Perfect!
But, I'm gonna do a wisdom check for her really quick, because there is truly, at the rate she's looking, there is no world where she survives another bout with the three of you.
Ah, smart.
Self-preservation is where you get the nat 20. Okay. She is going to flick the weapon down and place it into the ground, and is just going to put her hands up because despite being part of the Capenian Navy and the Capenian Dynasty, she is not willing to die for someone that truly does not give a flying shit about her. You've made your point. But that is going to be her turn, and that is going to be Ishtar, which you can see this group, and you can see the Admiral has placed the sword down and has raised her hand, and you can see that something was said, but given kind of the din and the crashing of asteroids and stuff, it's probably pretty hard to make out what was said.
Mm-hmm. I see they got things pretty taken care of as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I will just... I guess I will just drop my spirit guardians for now, and instead I will hold. She'll put a hand onto her chest plate, as you'll see her symbol glow, and she'll do Twilight Sanctuary. just to make a sphere of twilight to emanate amongst around her. And as a bonus action, as her eyes begin to continue to glow, she'll do Steps of Night and just begin to fly. And
Okay.
she'll join Nameless, going up the ziggurat, essentially.
Right. Then that is going to make it Elysande. It is going to be your turn, and it is going to really be up to you at this point whether this individual is going to live or die, because
Oh, I know. I know.
the amount of damage you deal on average, there is really a very slim chance she survives that.
I also still have Searing Smite up. Because the other person died too quickly to make the save.
Yep.
How close are we to the ziggurat? Like us three? I guess
You're
4.
close enough.
including
Like,
the
if you spun
Admiral.
around and ran, like, the initiative count round thing won't be applicable. It's kind of deciding whether or not you are gonna trust her to keep her word.
Well, there's a big difference between what I want to do and what my character would do.
It's fun when that comes up, and it's borderline irritating.
Mm-hmm. Map has been dispelled. It's floating up there. It's just a piece of glass. It's useless to anybody. Will you stop chasing us and go home and tell them you found the piece of glass dispelled?
I have pursued you for years, and I have determined that you are tenacious, and at the end of this, truly not worth the amount of time and effort I put into it.
You just sees the shimmer of like almost a light cantrip in my the spell in my hand. She knows I'm the one who did it. Sorry about your eye.
I'm sure.
And then I just pat her on the head and walk up to the cigarette. I take her weapon too. Doodles. And then I use second wind on myself because that hurt a lot.
Okay. Then so I'm just gonna ask Song and Liarel. Just gonna leave her be, because if that's the case, we'll exit off initiative here.
Yeah, I know Song is you see him going, we've seen him move fast, but probably not a good distance, but he's gonna double his action. He's gonna dash, and he has 55 movement, and then he's gonna dash again using a key point.
Oh my
Just
god.
zip up the
Speed.
side of this thing.
He's
probably like, when he hits the slopes, he probably is almost like on all fours, like a child going up the stairs.
I love that.
That's. I mean, it's a big cat person in all fours. That's basically just a large cat coming at. That's terrifying.
He's horrifying. You're lucky he's in a good environment right now.
Yes.
All right.
Liarel just kind of studies Admiral Perrin and says, I put double on Song, the cat. What about you? And she's basically inviting him, like, the Admiral to place bets on who's going to get up there first.
Well, from my understanding, to use the wish star, you'd have to be up there. You have no interest in going up there?
No.
Dang.
I think I'm kind of looking at her injuries. So she'll stand up, the weapon is gone, and she has her kind of marking, like bars, to signify her rank. Kinda takes one off and looks at it. Looks back to the ziggurat. I think I'm too old for this. And she'll just kind of flick one of the bars, and it'll just kind of gleam ever so slightly with a faint bit of light that hits it, and just careens off, and she'll get up and kind of just limp off, presumably to somehow get back aboard her vessel. She's not gonna place bets on anyone that just beat the shit out of her.
Yeah. Liarel just kind of nods her off and silently wishes her happy retirement.
I mean, she's put up with this bullshit for almost 5 years and truly gets nothing for it. But
As I, oh,
yep,
sorry.
no.
As I'm walking up the ziggurat, you said it's like a celestial area. Do I see any writing that I can read?
Yeah, the whole area is lined with writing, and what you're seeing here, or at least this ziggurat area, is the centerpiece of this old civilization. And going upwards, and just a little bit of reading you're seeing, there's tons. Like, it almost looks like scratches from a distance in this, but it's writing. Writing on each level of this ziggurat. And each level is to signify, like, a piece of history. And the higher you go up, the more recent it is.
Liarel is definitely going to be drawn to that. So she's going to follow that writing. She's curious about what she may learn here.
Okay. We will get to that in a moment. But as far as everyone else, you're at the top of this ancient ziggurat-based structure. As this comet begins to pass overhead, there is a flash, and all of you are in a white void space. None of you can see the other. You're singular here. And it is just this open space. There's no person here. There's nothing. Just an open space for you to exist in. How do you want to proceed with this?
Liarel included?
No, you are not up there, so you will not.
Okay, yeah. Just double checking.
Is this something that needs words spoken aloud?
They probably don't need it spoken. This entity probably doesn't need it spoken aloud. But just for the sake of, narrative importance, what
I would describe
yes.
Nameless's goals.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to beseech this entity and more or less wish for the return of their wolven parents and hopefully imbue them with a longer life and vitality than any in their home forest could possibly have. hopefully ensuring that once we return, their lineage will be far greater than previous.
Okay.
And they would also thank them very much for what they're doing for them.
Alright. That is your kind of wish into the universe, Nameless. Who would like to go next?
Oh, go for it. Thought I heard someone. No? Okay. I think like Song would take a couple of hesitant steps forward. He's like listening, looking for any sort of direction, and then when he kind of realizes he's not gonna get that, I think he just kind of like whatever you are, come a long way to see you, and this is super selfish of me to make an ask of something I've never honored before in my entire life, but honestly, all I want her is to be cured of her ailment. I just want her to live. I want her to be happy, and if she's still alive, to grant that to her. And it's foolish because she very well might not be at this point, but that's all I want for her.
Okay.
As Ishtar is kind of in this position of in this light, and she knows this is what she's been drawn to for these past few years.
I will note this is a very, like, radiant bright light, but it doesn't affect your sensitivity. It seems to be
Oh, good to know.
own thing.
Mm-hmm. Good to note. She steps forth. Just there was almost a hesitation, but she knows this is what she's been going for these past few years, and steps forth. And for the longest time, I was not certain if this was my goal or if this was even real. But now that I'm here, it's only one part of my mission. This is it. I wish for the shackles that hold these lands, my lands, the people here, either in the Underdark or in the Empire. I wish for them to be broken, and let the people decide on how they should live. That no one needs to be harmed any further, brought out because of how they were born or otherwise. Let the dynasty that holds my lands together fall, finally.
Okay. And finally, Elysande, that is you.
I'll first like tentatively say hello in Celestial to see if there's any response back.
Your voice echoes outwards and kind of gets distant and then fades off. There's no voice to be received here.
I sheathed my weapons on the way up, climbing, but I'll pull out from my pocket a locket that no one has really seen on the ship, always kept guarded. Um, Silently turning and or opening it, and inside is um, but like a little cut of hair, little baby teeth, and really
Oh.
precious diamonds. About 300 gold worth. Uh, Looking down on it, Elysande reflects Myra, her daughter, and I wish for her to be back. I have no idea if she is dead or gone astray somewhere. And if she is, well, this is what she was killed for, and all I could ever hope is for her to be back. But if that is not possible, accept this, and I hope she's in a better place if this is impossible. And then sets the locket down on this space, not knowing if it'll disappear or not. But it is the most precious thing to her.
Okay. As the light fades, for you, Elysande, you are back somewhere familiar. The day is recognizable, the scents around reminiscent. It is the day before everything, or the day before your world turns upside down. And it is in this moment that the Wish Star is truly a misunderstood entity. It is going to grant you a wish, but this is how it is going to achieve it. It is allowing you to have the knowledge of the day before to control the outcome. However, I want you to understand your choice here. Should you take that offer, essentially what that means is you were never a part of the Keiko, you've never been intertwined with this group, and you will have lived the life that you would have preferred to have. That is the one that you want. That is the bargain. You will get your daughter back, you will get your child back. But the memories you have gained and the experiences you have had, those will vanish like dust, having never been. Do you take that offer?
Do I see Myra in what I'm looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. You were present in that moment, the same time. The same place, same time you were present in that moment on that day. You were in the exact same space. And you were kind of like, you can see the movements, they are slightly repetitive, but you can understand that this is the offer. You are standing still in this moment and kind of taking a look, but the moment you take a step forward, you will enter into that ideal past and having never been in your current present.
Shit. Can you circle back to me? Sorry.
Yes. Nameless. You can see the wide open area of where your wolf parents have brought you up. You are gifted a sudden tinge. You have the knowledge of how to essentially pass the wisdom of your acquired druidic life onto as a vestment to the beings of nature itself. However, that takes time. You will indeed have all the knowledge to make that a reality, to let them prosper. And though you will keep the knowledge and your experiences that have helped you garner this, the intelligence of puzzle boxes and all of these other things, you will keep that knowledge. But understand the people that you have grown to know, should you take the offer to enter into that field. The people you know and could potentially interact with again, they may not be the same people. Do you take that bargain?
Yes.
Step forward.
I'm confident that I can find them again.
You step forward and you can feel the soft breeze of the moon that you have grown so accustomed to growing on. And for the next however many months or years, you can confidently say you have improved this pack's living situation and generations to come.
So many castings of Awaken.
Ishtar, your wish is something that is a monumental task. And it is one that is hard to achieve on a whim. And it is 2 mirrors are presented to you. One where you go back before the time, and you use your duties to guide your family, your house, your civilization to assist the above ground civilization to come to a mutual understanding and it will be a long process. It will not be easy. The journey will be tough, and not without strife. But you will get there. On the other hand, there is civilians that you can see. Under and overworld. They are removing the seated powers in government and dynasties and houses with more aggressive force in hopes of creating something that you had asked for. Let the dynasties and the powers that be crumble. If you go to the mirror where the civilians overthrow it, you will return with the Keiko. You are sure of that. And those shackles will have been destroyed like a whisper on a wind. If you take the mirror where you take the slow route, the events of the Keiko, as well as meeting your brother and everything you've gained and all these people you've met, if you go back there, you will never have met them. There are 2 mirrors to go. The other one is to simply walk away. Of which of these 3 options do you choose?
There's a lot that goes on in her mind as it kind of just begins to race at the possibilities that what all this can mean, what it does, and the just uncertainty of it all. It's always been things have always been uncertain in her head on things, and this definitely doesn't help it. And but it kind of brings a bit of a let's see. Her mind is racing and her eyes kind of burn in the sense of she's trying to hold back tears. And she knows that, this whole journey has made her a better person, and the whole reason she went on this is to find her brother. And see. She knows she's always had some kind of duty to something. As much as she's definitely hesitant on this as she thinks on with everything. And so in the first mirror kind of just shows an alternate
way where you take your
yeah.
duties of your family, but you have the knowledge to essentially guide it to a more ideal future.
Mhm.
But looking through the mirrors and seeing the timeline, this could take decades.
Mhm.
The other mirror happens immediately. one, you will keep your memory of all your experiences. The other one, you will have gained the wisdom to lead, but the memory aboard the Keiko and everything will not remain.
Mhm.
I'm not going to try and rush you here, but I am going to give you 60 seconds.
Of course, of course. Well, her entire life has been kind of dictated by what others wanted of her. And for the first time, she has finally has something where she can fight for what she wants. And so she'll step through the second mirror.
Overnight, then. Alright? Song. Your request is much more simple. And not as grandiose, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. As you mentioned in your approximation, perhaps it is selfish, but as opposed to everyone else where they get a mirror or a surrounding image, you get a pond. Very still, except for a single ripple and a particular, almost black and indigo flower. Incredibly rare and hard to find on any plane of existence of any kind. But it can cure just about anything. Understanding this, the same bargain is about to be made. You can step in that pond. You can get that cure. You can deliver it personally. Everything here, though, disappears.
Yeah, there would maybe be a second of hesitation, but even knowing this, he would still go forward and step into the pond.
Step into the pond. Alright. Then that leaves us back to Elysande. You have a chance to undo all your pain. And all you have to do is take a step forward. However, doing so will erase everything you've experienced, as well as this version of you. So I will ask one last time. Do you step forward or no?
I totally forgot that my thing was muted. I said something and then did not realize that none of you could hear it.
Ah!
All good.
I was like, why isn't
Detention!
Joe, I was like, why isn't Joe responding to me?
But anyways, repeat what you said.
Alright, the longer she stares, the more she knows it'll be okay. She steps forward and prays that everyone
Oh my god.
will return to that
My
tavern that
heart.
we met at.
which leads us to Liarel. Reading this language here and seeing this and recording history, Liarel, I'm gonna have you make whatever role you think is applicable to understanding this language. And this will be the final roll of the game.
She's gonna lean on her academics and all the history, so it'll be a history roll, and that is a nat 20 for 27.
Yo!
What a final roll.
Hell yes!
Reading this as you're kind of watching, and you can see all 4 individuals up there who you have come to know. As they kind of begin to almost gray in their saturation and color, and you can read and kind of reading up, the wish star is an incorrect translation. This is actually known as the Comet of Fate. And you watch, staring ahead, these saturated colors of these people as the saturation suddenly leaves and they become gray. And almost a impossible kick up of wind. And you blink once, staring up at the ziggurat with nothing there. And you wonder to yourself, why did I have such a fixation staring at the peak? Turning around, you hear someone call out a member of the Keiko and various members of the Capenian Navy and several vessels as a expedition out here to track something legendary must have been here. Sort of an archaeology expedition. And you remember so much aboard the Keiko. But you can't help but feel like there were other people that experienced this with you. And throughout the universe, throughout the wilds, throughout the Underdark, and throughout small towns with truly just normal individuals, all of you will come to and well rested, like you've arisen from a very pleasant dream. And that's where we're going to end A Starbright Fantasy.
I'm not choked up. You're choked up. Shut up.
I was literally crying. That's why my mic is muted.